Capitalism. Capitalism is based on private ownership of the means of production and is based on profit-oriented operation, focusing on driving the consumer to consume more and make more profit. Corporatism. Corporatism is a political ideology similar to capitalism. The difference is that instead of profit maximization in economic activity, the stability of society is at the forefront. The state is the intermediary at this stage. Conservatism. Conservatism in Western culture. It emerged with the sudden reforms after the French Revolution, while conservatism seeks to protect culture, the family, religion, property rights, the structure of government, and the military. Liberalism. Liberalism advocates individual rights and freedoms, equality, and limits on the power of government. Liberals generally believe in human reason and believe that peaceful resolution of conflicts can improve society. Conservatives accuse liberals of neglecting traditional values. Populism. Populism, also known as popular interestism, assumes that an elite group in society is blocking the interests of the people. It is the organization of the people by a charismatic leader to regain right. Fascism. Fascism is the extreme right-wing thought first created by Benito Mussolini in Italy. It is an extreme nationalist political ideology based on an authoritarian state. Fascism emerged against communism, Marxist socialism, liberalism, democracy, conservatism. Nationalism. Nationalism is an ideology that asserts that the culture and identity of a particular nation is superior to others. Nationalism fosters pride and social cohesion and defines itself in contrast to other nations. Libertarianism. Libertarianism is an ideology that believes that freedom is the most important value in politics. According to libertarian ideology, people being free can create a safer, fairer, better world. It advocates voluntary cooperation and the primacy of individual decision-making. Marxism. Marxism is an ideology that advocates the emancipation of people and defends class distinctions. Marxism includes political, economic, and philosophical teachings. Monarchism. Monarchism is a political ideology in which a single monarch rules the state. The people do not have the right to elect and be elected. The monarch does not change until the end of his life. And when the monarch's life ends, family members continue to rule. Feminism. Feminism is an ideology that advocates equal rights for all genders. Authoritarianism. Authoritarianism, as the name suggests, comes from the word authority. It is a political ideology based on a particular leader, party, or military power, governed by a strong central authority that rejects pluralism in politics. According to authoritarianism, concepts such as the rule of law, legislative, executive, judiciary, democracy are unacceptable. Eco-Fascism. Eco-Fascism is an ideology that seeks to preserve the natural order by enforcing a strict policy on society. It focuses on reducing the population in order to protect the environment. Communism. Communism is called far left by political thinkers. Communism is based on classlessness, common property, a social order without money, and without a state. Socialism. Socialism is an ideology that argues that the social and economic welfare of society will be determined by the democratic decision of the people, and that production, tools, and land belong to the people. Socialism dislikes capitalism and supports public-based production instead of private production. The difference between socialism and communism is that socialism wants to maintain the existence of the state. Imperialism. Imperialism is a political ideology in which a state attempts to coerce another state for its own interest and exploits the resources of the affected state. Theocracy. Theocracy. In short, the clergy is responsible for the administration of the state. The rules of the state are the same as the rules of religion. Anarchism. Anarchism. The basic principle of anarchism is statelessness. They are against traditional politics. They reject all kinds of authority. They advocate private ownership of the means of production. They prioritize freedom. Democracy. Democracy is a political ideology in which power belongs to the people and results in the direct participation of the people in the election of leaders. Leaders can be criticized, replaced, judged, and prevented from abusing power. Technocracy. Technocracy. The political and economic process is based on science and rationalism. It is a political ideology in which the management of political institutions and decision-making authority is exclusively in the hands of technical experts. Technocrats are scientists, engineers, technologists. Internationalism. Internationalism is an ideology in which peoples beyond nations work together to address global challenges and promote peace and prosperity. The World Health Organization, the International Criminal Court, the World Trade Organization, the International Committee of the Red Cross are all representatives of internationalism. Third way. Third way politics is a political ideology that plans to reconcile left and right politics. Totalitarianism. Totalitarianism is an extreme political ideology in which the state completely restricts public and private life. The state uses secret police, censorship, and propaganda to maintain control. It uses fear, intimidation, and violence to subordinate the population to the totalitarian regime. The regime rejects a free press, independent organizations, and political opposition to the regime. It completely controls the economy. Neoliberalism. Neoliberalism is an economic and political ideology that argues that limited government intervention will increase the economic entrepreneurship and individual freedom of individuals. Trotskyism. Trotskyism is a Marxist ideology put forward by Leon Trotsky. The ideology of Trotskyism advocates the solidarity of international workers and claims that this is the only way to achieve workers' revolution. Trotskyism opposes Stalinism and bureaucratic authority. Maoism. Maoism is a Marxist ideology put forward by the Chinese revolutionary Mao Zedong. The principles of Maoism are cultural restructuring, revolution, and people's wars. He argued that peasants are the vanguard of people's wars. Maoism opposes imperialism, capitalism, and bureaucratic structures and argues that these structures create an earthquake effect in society. Anarcha-Feminism. Anarcha-Feminism is an ideology that combines anarchism and feminism. Anarcha-Feminism believes that the oppressive power of the state and the inequality between the sexes are caused by male governments. Anarcha-Feminism advocates the abolition of the state and patriarchal institutions. Anarcha-Feminism does not accept concepts such as gender, class, race. Secularism. Secularism is a political ideology that advocates the separation of state affairs from religion. It rejects the establishment of laws according to religious rules and instead supports the application of universal human rights and rational principles of law. Secularism is sensitive to issues such as individual freedom, education, health, and law. Fabianism. Fabianism is a Marxist ideology that argues that in order to achieve social goals, gradual changes will be less harmful to society than revolution. Fabianists think that they will protect the rights of the working class by gradually changing the capitalist system. Fabianism advocates reform in the areas of public services, education system, healthcare, social security services. Transhumanism. Transhumanism is an ideology that plans to improve humankind technologically. Transhumanism advocates the improvement and development of human life with the help of biotechnology, nanotechnology, artificial intelligence. It advocates the creation of a physical and mental superhuman by combining the brain and software. You can learn more and become superhuman by watching my videos. Subscribe.